So I'm making this video for you guys. Here we're looking at the forge here. We got this stack of wrenches that I got going on here. A few of them fell off during this process, but we can see that I had a lot of them. Me and my brother made this forge press here out of a log splitter, and this is what I used to do the forge welding on these billets. Now, you can see it now, it doesn't look like wrenches. This was after I've done it a few times. We're going to have a closer look at it. I was trying to do it by myself most of the time doing these filmings. My brother helped me out a little bit. So here we are, we're looking at the billet. You can see there's still some inclusions. That's because of the irregularity of the wrenches themselves. And if there was cracks in there, I kind of gave it a little bit of welds into it to give it some extra steel and to make sure that it was going to forge properly. So after a few more folds, it became pretty one piece. And here I'm going to twist the billet to give the patterning a little bit of character to it. Now, I only did one twist on it because at the time I didn't really think about that I was going to stretch it out to try to make all 4 blades out of this one piece. So if I would have done it again, I would have done a tighter twist so each blade you can see the twisting in it. I'm using my made wrench here. It's a Ford wrench with an extra handle so I can twist it easily. There we go. We've got it all twisted up here. Now I'm going to take it back to the forge, heat it up, and then use the forge press and get it all straight again. You can see it's stretched out. I'm trying to make it as long as I can, like I said, to make all 4 of the blades, which I end up not being able to do. I make 3 out of this billet, then I make another billet to make the 4th knife. So I do my initial beveling on a belt sander just to get the profile, and then I use files to get it all nice and flat and straight. So we had a few wrenches that we thought were interesting, but they were too long. So we cut them, and to make the guards out of one of the open ends of these wrenches, we have to weld another head to it. So here's my brother welding it up for me while I videotape it. And you can see we made some custom wrenches here. Pretty good looking weld. We come over here, I'm gonna open up the jaw of the wrenches so I can make the guards out of it. And I'm using a wooden hammer so I don't really deform the steel like the jaw of it really, but just opening it up and using a softer material than the soft metal. You don't really put those marks in it. And this is just an oak 4x4 that I made a hammer out of, and this really tore it up. I should have reheated it right here, but I felt like I could still get it done. I ended up putting it back in and doing it several times. So here it is all open. Here's one of the blades, and you can see we're gonna weld the blades to the wrenches, and that's how we're gonna get that done. My brother is a welder, so I have him doing all the welding. I probably could have done it, but I didn't want to screw it up. Put a little crook in the wrench to make the handle a little more pleasing. So here we are, we welded the blades to the wrench handles. We're just doing some touch-up welding. It's looking really good. So now that we got all the blades made, we're going to do some quenching. This is going to harden the steel. This is a really nerve-wracking process because it being forge welded, those welds, if they're not good and you shock them like this, it can pull apart the welds. So I'm anxious to pull it out to see if everything stayed together, and it did. I'm going to blow it out here, set it down, let it cool off. The little black stuff on it is I used motor oil as my quenchant. So now we got them in the oven. Going to set it to 150 degrees and just leave them in there about 45 minutes. That will strengthen the steel. They won't be as hard, but they won't be as brittle. So now we got it dunked in my special canister of ferric chloride to bring out the etch. And there we can see the pattern. It looks beautiful. The black is the oxide that rubs off. We got it in my sharpening jig here to make it razor sharp. And here they are, all 4 of them. You can see the patterning, everyone's different. Thank you for watching.